Hello and welcome to the new episode of the podcast. So, we are beginning with the episode with the SEL sat again, as we have received some of the great responses for the previous episode as well, especially from the United States, the Pacific region as well. And today we are not going to talk something that is extremely traditional. We are going to talk something related to the market that is not so much looked upon for decades, but now is gaining momentum. That is disaster recovery solutions for government broadcast and playout services. For this topic, we have today with us Mr. Raghid Shanti. Hi, Rahid. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Omkar. It's great to be part of this conversation, actually.
Absolutely. It's great to have you as well, Rahid. We have recorded several episodes with your team, and as I mentioned in the beginning, especially the previous episode received a lot of great responses. It was beyond my expectation because the parts where we didn't had reach as well in the sub-Saharan Africa and other parts of the world, we were receiving a lot of conversations, uh, the kind of perspectives that your team had provided, and I hope this episode as well takes or possibly elevates what we have built as a momentum.
Yeah,
But
hopefully.
yes, definitely. And before we actually jump into the topic, Rahid, as we see that I've experienced for myself as well, the space industry always has such a diverse set of audience. Before we begin with the podcast, I'd like to know what is your journey, how did you end up what you're doing at the moment, and your experience with SL site. So if you could briefly explain about yourself, that would be great, and your journey too.
Thank you, Omkar. My name is Raghid Shanti. Currently, I'm the Senior Sales Manager at Sales at a satellite company. I spent the past 17 years working across the satellite communication industry. So I have a wide experience in that area. Focusing on how technologies can support national resilience, secure broadcast, and critical communication. Working with some of the leading operators in the region, including CaribSat and SafeSat. My journey has taken me through projects in government networks, maritime connectivity, oil and gas operations, and of course, broadcast and media services, which is where disaster recovery plays such an essential role. I've always believed that communication infrastructure is the nervous system of any modern nation or entity, and that's exactly what drives the work we do here at CSAT.
Absolutely, that's a very interesting journey, I would say. And to begin with the actual topic of today, which is my favorite as well, because briefly start before starting in the space industry like a decade ago, I had briefly worked in this area as well. So this is a topic. Disaster recovery solution is something very close to my heart as well. So can you briefly explain the importance of disaster recovery solutions for government broadcast and playout services in today's digital landscape?
Yes, definitely. So, disaster recovery has moved from being a technical luxury to a national necessity. So, in today's world, communication is the backbone of stability. For governments, for example, it's how they coordinate emergency responses, share public information, and obtain essential services. Uh, in parallel, for broadcasters, it's how they keep the public informed and sometimes reassured during crises. We saw this clearly during the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, when the world went into lockdown, communication infrastructure became a lifeline. So governments relied on broadcast and satellite networks to reach people at home for public health updates, education programs, and even remote governance. And closer to our region, recent geopolitical instability has shown how fragile terrestrial networks can be. A single act, intentional or accidental, like a submarine cable, for example, like a submarine cable cut, or a data center failure, for example, can isolate entire countries. So disaster recovery isn't just about restoring services, it's about ensuring continuity of communication, national resilience, and public trust. It's the invisible layer that keeps everything running when everything else stops.
Interesting. Yeah. Uh, I believe the point that you mentioned, that it's not only about just providing some traditional support, but it goes really beyond that. Coming to that point, I would like to emphasize on your company's role. So, how does SEL SATS approach disaster recovery for its clients in the government and broadcast sectors? And primarily, what are the key principles guiding your solutions? I'm asking this question out of just not just curiosity, but uh, I believe your company is positioned very well right now as a regional, I think, leader in these things. So I'm very much curious to know what is your perspective on how things are basically on your side.
So, our approach here at Sensat is anchored in three principles: reliability, security, and flexibility. Now we operate two state-of-the-art geostationary satellites, SEN-1, SEN-2, positioned at 25.5 and 26 east, covering the Middle East, North Africa, Central Asia, and some parts of Europe. So these satellites provide overlapping coverages, which means instant redundancy. But the real power actually comes from our WTA 4 certified teleport located in Al Ghawariya, just north of Doha. So it's here in Qatar. It's one of the highest rated facilities in the world, engineered for 99.98% availability, backed by redundant power, diverse fiber routes, and full isolation from interference. Our philosophy is simple: disaster recovery isn't an afterthought, it's designed into the service from day one. So for governments, that means secure, encrypted communication, and even national infrastructure is down. Uh, when broadcasters, for broadcasters, it means having a backup layout system ready to take over within seconds. So we don't just build backups, we build resilient architectures that allow our clients to keep operating under any condition or situation.
Wow, that's really insightful. I mean, you have mentioned so much robust capabilities and the solutions as well. So I'd like to basically touch upon the real world example. So could you share an example of how SLSAT's uh, disaster recovery services have helped maybe a broadcaster or government entity maintain continuity during an unexpected outrage or crisis? I mean, like it can be literally anything, anything that you can publicly share, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So, for example, examples that comes to mind, like Rayan TV, Mamlaka TV, Qatar TV. The three of them are governmental entities in the broadcast industry. So during a major technical disruption, they could be at risk of going off air in the middle of a live broadcast. So within moments, our team can activate their disaster recovery layout at CERSAT report. So viewers would never see a blank screen, never notice a pause. The transition can be seamless. So that's what true disaster recovery looks like when nobody realizes it even happened. So beyond broadcasting, we support clients in the energy and maritime sectors as well. So during the COVID-19 lockdowns, when engineers couldn't physically reach offshore rigs or remote network hubs, our VSAT systems provided the continuity they needed to operate, communicate, and manage assets safely. These experiences proved something important. So when terrestrial systems fail, satellite-based resilience becomes the last line of defense, and that's exactly what CELSAT excels in.
That's a point to be noted when it comes to, I think, infrastructure and technical capabilities, I would say, for the people who are more interested on the technical side. uh, because I believe what you have mentioned in general has a lot of scope. I mean, you mentioned about energy, maritime as well. I was not knowing that these are the solutions that I would say have traction in that segment as well. So coming to the technology and infrastructure part, as there is a wide spectrum of application for such solutions. What role does SLSAT satellites and teleport facilities play in ensuring service resilience and rapid recovery during disasters?
So they play the central role actually. So our satellites 25.5 and 26 East give us wide regional coverage with overlapping footprints, meaning if one link faces interference or degradation, we can reroute immediately through the other. Our teleport in Korea is a fully integrated ecosystem. It's not just an uplink station, as maybe people might think or perceive. So it houses broadcast playout suites, network monitoring centers, redundant power, redundant fiber systems, redundant fiber routes, and multiple transmission chains. Because of its WTA Tier 4 certification, which only a few teleports will have achieved actually, it's recognized for its world-class redundancy, design, and resilience. We also built multiple terrestrial interconnections with Qatari stakeholders and regional telecom networks. So, if, for example, a submarine cable is cut, something that has happened multiple times before, we can reroute broadcast and data traffic through our satellite infrastructure. Whether it's a natural disaster, a technical failure, or even regional instability, our setup ensures that communication never goes dark.
That's insightful. I believe the kind of scenarios I think you have mentioned might, the requirements I feel vary from not only client to client, but from situation to situation as well, because I think every crisis, every disaster has a different dynamic. So, from that point of view, I'd like to ask this question. So, how do your disaster recovery solutions integrate with the existing telecom or broadcast infrastructure? And are there options for customization based on client needs?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. In fact, flexibility is one of the main reasons our partners choose us. So we design our systems to integrate seamlessly with existing setups. Whether a broadcaster uses their own playout equipment or a government agency operate through its own data network. For example, we can mirror a broadcaster's feed in real time to our teleport. So, in case of an outage, our teleport automatically takes over the transmission. This means no manual intervention, no downtime. So for telecom partners, we offer hybrid integration, connecting their terrestrial infrastructure directly into our satellite network. This enables instant failover between terrestrial and satellite, giving clients two completely independent paths for continuity. And because every client has unique requirements, bandwidth, latency, geographic coverage, we tailor the solution down to the link level. In short, we make sure our system fits their system, not the other way around.
That's a very, I would say, uh, agile approach because I think the more flexibility I think the customer receives, there is a high possibility that they are going to procure your services again and again. I mean, that's a great return as well from a business point of view. But again, I think the appreciation should also go to the technical infrastructure of your company, because really that's something that holds such a great, I would say, client base as well. So I mean, this is such a complex infrastructure. So I think securities should and might be, I would say, the one of the strong and as well as, I would say, important consideration when it comes to maybe not only just business, but when it comes to basically deploying the solutions as well. So data security is a major concern during disaster scenarios, as far as I have seen from my perspective working in this sector. So how does SELSAT ensure the confidentiality and integrity of sensitive information during recovery operations?
Yeah, so that's actually an essential question because security is at the core of everything we do. Our networks use advanced encryption standards, including IPsec, VPN across satellite links, ensuring that all data, whether it's government communications, video feed, or telemetry, is always fully encrypted end to end. Both our satellites are equipped with anti-jamming and interference tracking technologies, which makes it ideal for secure and mission-critical transmissions. On the ground, our teleport operates under strict access control, 24/7 surveillance, and network isolation from external systems. We're also proud to hold the ISO 20000 certification for IT service management and ISO 45001 for occupational health and safety, which demonstrate our commitment to both quality and reliability. Beyond technology, security is also about trust. So during crises, information can be weaponized. Maintaining the integrity of authenticity of data ensures that the public receives the right message at the right time for national broadcastings. This happens without distortion or compromise.
That's that's a really good insight, I would say, from a security perspective, especially for our audience who are into the security domain. We have quite a lot of audience from the security domain who listen to this podcast on and off as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, so I hope the audience takes some notes of it, because we had received a lot of requests in some of the previous episodes related to this. So I hope our current guest from SLSAT has answered this question in a fulfilling manner. At least for me, it is very fulfilling right now, the answer. But of course, if you have any questions later on for our audience, you can definitely send it to us and we'll get the answer from the
Yeah,
SLSAT team later. Moving
definitely.
forward into the episode, what kind of support and managed services does a SailSat provide to clients before, during, and after a disaster event? I'm asking this question because I think as I mentioned previously, also I think the services and the solutions capabilities vary from situation to situation. Can you provide us insight more on this? Like, what kind of support and managed services does your company have?
To begin with this, we actually believe that support shouldn't start when the crisis begins or occurs. So it should start long before. Our managed services cover every phase of the process. So before a disaster, we help clients design, test, and simulate their recovery systems. And during an incident, our 24/7 network operations center coordinates directly with the client's team to activate backup channels, reroute data, and ensure smooth recovery and transmission. So after an event, we always conduct post-incident analysis to identify what went well and where actually systems can improve. So we are always improving. Our engineers are available around the clock, both remotely and on site. We maintain predefined escalation protocols for rapid decision making. Whether it's a natural disaster or equipment failure or an unexpected geopolitical event, our team is always ready. That's part of CSAT DNA, basically. Partnership through presence.
Excellent. And thank you very much, Raid, for mentioning this point, especially. I think I didn't ask you about this previously, I should have. But really great that you have covered this. I think the support related and operations related clarity is very important for the clients. Because, a lot of
Yes.
times, I mean, not every company provides a 24/7 support. But it is great, of course, that your company is providing, but not every company does. And if the clients do not have such a clarity, I think there is a friction that certain amount of that goes into the relationship. But it's really great that you have clarified this point, the kind of support and the operations that you have around the clock. So really thankful again for mentioning this in an extended manner. So proceeding ahead, I'd like to because we have covered a lot of aspects from the technology side, from business side as well.
Mm.
But I believe a workforce is also very important. If you really don't
Yes.
have such a workforce, it becomes very tough to manage such a huge company as well, but especially the kind of such a critical area of solutions that you're providing. So from a training perspective, does SLSAT offer training or resources to help clients manage their own disaster recovery processes more effectively?
Yes, of course. In fact, we encourage it. So we believe in building capabilities, not dependencies. That's why we conduct specialized training programs for both government and broadcast clients. So these sessions cover everything from technical fault response and network monitoring to emergency playout procedures. We simulate real-world scenarios like fiber cuts, equipment failures, or power outages, so that our client team gain hands-on experience in responding quickly and confidently. This collaborative model ensures that when an actual event occurs, the transition between the client's team and our support engineers is seamless. Ultimately, disaster recovery isn't just about having the right technology, it's about empowering people to use it effectively.
That's really good insight, I would say, because I had this question previously in my mind as well. I mean that it's not basically possible to you know cover everything by yourself. Sometimes you really
Hmm.
need to give the
Sure.
training as well, because the clients might be somewhere in Australia, at times.
Yes,
And
of course.
yeah, it's not so feasible, and operational costs are very high, at such places. So again, thank you for clarifying this point, because I think this is very important, that the training programs should be there, should exist. Basically, it's not that the
Hmm.
company should only provide. So I think in a way you're also educating the people, not only just providing the solutions, and which is a great thing, because this is something that the leadership quality of a satellite operator should be. And I have been advocating through our podcast as well, that providing just services and solutions is not enough. You need to provide such a specialized kind of training programs as well, especially for the government institutions, because they are the kind of, I think, the central node that connects to the whole of the industry. And coming to the next question of ours, which is my favorite, and I would like to make a note of this, that in our previous podcast with your team, this is exactly the kind of questions at the last part where the podcast, I would say, was elevated, because this is where a lot of not only your customers, but potentially maybe your competitors or even your collaborators or future partners are looking to see basically what kind of, I would say, future you're looking at from your current capabilities perspective. So I'm personally excited to see what you're going to answer for this question, and the further the last one as well. So from your perspective, right, what trends are you seeing in disaster recovery solutions for broadcast and government services, and how is SCLSAT adapting to these changes?
So we're seeing three major trends reshaping the industry. So first, hybrid and cloud-enabled recovery solutions. Clients want flexibility to switch between satellite, cloud, and terrestrial networks dynamically. We're expanding into cloud-based layout and mobility services to match that demand. So, second is there's a growing emphasis on cybersecurity convergence. So, the line between physical and digital disaster is fading. Cyber attack can take down a broadcast just as effectively as a storm. So, we're integrating cybersecurity frameworks directly into our DR architecture. And third, multi-orbit connectivity, of course. The future will not rely on a single orbit or system anymore. Cellsat is preparing to collaborate with LEO, MEO, and of course, we are GEO constellations to deliver faster, more adaptive recovery solutions. So all of this reflects one reality. The world is unpredictable. From pandemics to regional tensions to natural disasters, we've learned that continuity planning isn't optional anymore. It's a strategic necessity.
Excellent. I think the multi-orbit capabilities point that you mentioned, I really aligned with that, because I think we are not looking at just one orbit traditionally now. And it's great that your company is already looking forward to such a futuristic vision as well. So coming to the final part of the questions, this is the last part of the podcast, I would say. uh, as SLSat expands its services and prepares for future satellite launches, how do you see disaster recovery solutions evolving for your clients? I mean, the client base can be anyone. It can be government, private, or anyone. So please feel free to answer it the way you feel comfortable.
So, at the moment, we are entering a new chapter defined by interconnected resilience. So, with SailC, with the Sail 3 on the horizon, we're extending our coverage beyond the MENA region and preparing for multi-orbit integration that combines GEO, MEO, and LEO. That means more redundancy, faster data, and wider reach. So we ensure our clients are never disconnected, no matter where they operate. We're also exploring Earth observation analytics and IoT integration. So this would allow us not to only respond to disasters, but in certain scenarios and situations, anticipate them. This covers monitoring environmental changes, infrastructure risks, and communication vulnerabilities in real time. So the ultimate goal is simple but powerful to make sure that when the next crisis hits, whether it's a natural disaster, a network failure, or a regional disruption, our clients stay connected, informed, and operational. That's the true meaning of resilience, and it's what drives everything we do here at CSAT.
That's an excellent insight, especially about the Earth observation part that you mentioned, because I think uh, this is not just considered only to the broadcasting services, but it's a very, I would say, wide spectrum of area where this kind of services can be provided. And I'm glad to see a satellite operator like SLSat basically, again, creating a footprint in the another segment of the industry, that is Earth observation as well. And I hope we see a greater such level of services layering up and again successfully, deployed from your company in the near future. So thank you, right, for such great insights and wonderful conversation. I would say I really enjoyed it. A lot of
Anytime,
points,
Omkar.
absolutely, and a lot of points I think you highlighted, which I was supposed to ask you, but you covered it in an extended manner. So I'm really thankful to you. I think a lot of people keep on asking us questions related to security, operations, support, which I think you have covered it in an extended manner. So I hope a lot of audiences will be satisfied with the answers. And in case if there are any furthermore questions from the audience, I'd like to personally mention that we'll be adding in the description section the details about SLSat, the services, the solutions, and related inquiry form or the contact details. You can directly get in touch with the team if you'd like to basically procure their solutions, products, or possibly enter a collaboration or a partnership with them. So thank you very much, Rahit, again, and I hope
Thank you, Omkar.
yes, absolutely. I hope to record more such episodes with your team again.
Hopefully. Yes, definitely.
Thank you.